Behind me are 15,000 chickens. We'll be catching each one of them by hand, loading them up onto trucks and taking them away for processing. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third cycle finale. We've seen a lot of challenges leading up to this point, from maintaining a steady temperature to physical abnormalities in the chickens. Mistakes were made, lessons have been learned, but now we see how all of our work translates into results. We saw our performance improve last cycle. Can we do the same this time? Let's find out. We're starting the harvest in about 2 hours now, so we're just checking out the scene. This is what the Minook look like. Kind of gross at this stage. They're pretty ugly, but decent sized bird there. So we actually did a thinning 2 days ago where we had a couple trucks come here, pick up about 5,000 chickens. But I was in China, so we didn't get to see it. But we essentially do that as we get the chickens that are of a good size early and create more space for the undersized ones to grow and catch up. And then in our final performance, that should tighten up our uniformity, where all the harvested birds are a little closer to the same weight. Absolutely nasty. Hope you're eating dinner while you watch. Okay, so there's truck one, and we'll have 3 more coming here. Depending on the size of the team we have here, we've seen anywhere between like 30 minutes to an hour per truck. Give a bit of grace for wrapping up each truck and, you know, signing off on it. But probably 5-hour endeavor here tonight. So it's always a long day when we got the harvest going. We have 25 bags of feed left over here. We've had 620 delivered, so consumed just shy of 600 bags of feed. We are on track. I'm projecting a good harvest recovery. Anything around 95% I'd be happy with. Our weight, I don't know. I feel like I'm expecting like 1.5 kg would be ideal, but the odds are we're going to sit a little bit under that. We'll probably be more 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. No, we won't be 1.2. The big thing now is making sure we harvest as many as we possibly can. We'll inevitably get some left over, some band soots, some undersized Minook that don't meet the 900 gram threshold. Some of those will be in there, but you want to limit how many that is. Our mortality's been good, uniformity not that great, but as long as we can get majority of this harvested, I think we can come out here with a pretty solid recovery and hopefully get an okay weight, and then we should land ourselves at a decent per bird fee we receive from the integrator. First truck's here, stacking up the crates. Got our kuya here, putting in work. We'll harvest it at this door at the far end of the farm. We'll get started here in about 1 hour. So we got the lock and seal from the truck. So each door, there's 2 doors that swing like that. One will get a seal, one gets a lock on it, and then they have a permit that the drivers take with them in case they get pulled over or whatever. That gives them permission to be transporting live animals here. 40 minutes to go. It is 5:21 right now. So we'll get started here in about 4 minutes. The truck's just getting ready, and then we'll have the team come in, pick up the chickens. Maybe I'll get my hands dirty a little bit, and then we'll be good to go. And for the first time, we're gonna get a sample weight for each truck. So we'll weigh 100 birds per truck so we can verify that the weight at the processing plant matches what we get here. Pretty good weights here, actually. We'll see what the plant says, but this looks pretty good. Salamat, Kriya. Salamat, Dave. Good job, brother. Kriya. We got it done. That's 100 samples there. Looking like probably around 1.5 kilograms. My guess is the weight at the plant's gonna come in under that, but I mean, we have 100 samples. I think that's a pretty good sample size, so we shall see. There was some suspicion last cycle. There was some sketchy work going on. If you're familiar with this business in the Philippines, you know there's a million ways some things can go along that aren't standard procedure at each step of the process. So you just gotta do what you can, dot your T's, cross your I's, dot your I's, cross your T's, and make sure that you can avoid, you know, anything going wrong at different stages of the process. So I think this weigh-in will help. You can see it's getting a lot more empty in here. Since we did thinning, the building's cleaning out a lot quicker than usual. But what we do before the harvest begins, we have a projection of how many chickens we think are in the farm, and then you divide that by how many chickens will fit in each truck, and then you arrive at how many trucks you will need for harvesting. So we project we'll need about 3.5 trucks, so 4 trucks total will come, and we should fill up 3 and then fill up half of another one, and that will ideally land us at around a 95% recovery. And if we can hit 1.5 kg average live weight, then we should be looking at pretty good performance here. Maybe not as good as last cycle. We'll have to see if we can get our weight up. Maybe we'll do a little bit better, but time will tell. If you have good performance here, we get paid more, and that's what we want. That's what we're about, baby. More Minook, more money. It's a big Busog Minook. Hey, bud. Look right into his soul there. Get deep in on him. Good luck. Truck 1 done here, Minook inside. We'll go take a look at truck 2, which has started. Okay, before we grab some harvesting, we're gonna do another weigh-in of this section here. A little smaller here. This is where we had the nursery, and the samples are quite a bit smaller. We go 5 birds per sample here, 10 samples, 50 birds. Okay, a little bit lighter there. That one's probably, do the eyeball test, probably 1.4 kg-ish. But now it's time to stop fucking around and go harvest some chickens. Here's the trick. What we're gonna do, this is 10 heads, 5 a hand, grabbing 5, one hand, and then the tough part is sneaking 5 in your free hand here. So let's see if we can get it done. Here we go. 1. This is when you test the skills. There we are. 2, 3, 4. 1 more. Get back here, boy. Oh. Let's go. 10 heads. Here we are. These are heavy. Mabigat Minook. James! Get a sighting of this creature here.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing? Let's go. Okay, I'm starting to find my skill here on the 3rd cycle. 1 more here. That's what I'm talking about. This is an honest day's work. These are heavy. Start doing, it's the only gym membership you need. Salamat. Salamat. We got the best in the business here. I hand them like a handful of shit, and you can just tell she's like, this guy sucks. I know in the forecast, Timbang. 1.8? Talaga? I think that's generous. 1.8, he says. Like, that's a little generous, but we'll hold him to that. We'll visit the processing plant if we're anything below that. We're about 3/4 of the way down truck 2, and you see truck number 3 pulling up here right now. We're moving pretty quick. We started at like 5:30, about 6:53 right now. We've been going for about an hour and a half. 2 trucks, not too shabby. We got a good crew here. You can see it's pretty empty right now. We have Dave grabbing some stragglers here, putting them over into this section so we don't miss any. Once it gets kind of cleared out and the chickens are really sparse, it's tough to grab them. So you end up missing a few in one section, so you just try to put them all down there where people can easily get at them. So that's what our new flockman, Dave, in training is up to right now. He's not the best in the business yet, but give him some time and he will be. Lock and seal and shit on my fingers. That's what you like to see. Now we'll head over. We're gonna do a weigh-in. Truck number 3, 7:10 right now. A little bit bandsoot, but you can see just by even looking down, like uniformity, not great. So, but depending on the birds that you pick up, you could have a sample that makes it look like you have 2 kilogram birds here, and you could grab a sample that makes it look like they're 1.2 kg. So, you know, you try to get a good mixture of big and small birds within each sample, but you can end up creating a bit of a bias, which makes it hard to tell what the actual weight is without weighing a really massive volume. But my estimate for that one is like probably around 1.4, around 1.4. We'll see what the truck drivers have to say. The last guy said it was Jurassic Park Minook. So we'll see if these guys agree. These guys just disappoint us. Yeah, get right in close. Shame them. Embarrass them. Bandsoot. We're doing one last weigh-in, another 50 birds, just so we get every area of the farm to get an average live weight. So this will be our 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be our 5th aggregate sample here. They're looking smaller down here. Normally this is the heaviest end. Okay, bandsoot. That's a sample of bandsoot right there. I think it's because we had the nursery mixed in here, so some at like 6.5 kg, 5 birds a sample. That'd be like 1.3 kilograms or something like that. And then we have some that are like 8.5 kilograms for 5 birds, which would be like 1.7. There's some variation out here in terms of the size of birds, but hopefully it averages together to be 1.5. Anything 1.5 and up would be really happy with. Time will tell. Damn, it's clearing out in here pretty quick. You gotta be one with the Minook. See, we've built up a good rapport over the last 30 days. We're almost done the third truck here. At the thinning, we did 2 trucks that came to 5,117 birds. Once we finish this truck, this will be our third, we would have harvested 12,797 birds. To get to a harvest recovery of 95%, we want to harvest 14,210 birds. If we get the difference between what we've harvested and what we want to harvest, that would mean in truck 4, we should be harvesting 1,413 birds. So we'll do an actual count of the final truck so we know exactly how many have been taken out of this farm, and then we know what our harvest recovery will be. It's kind of deceiving. It doesn't look like there's many chickens in here, but if the math is correct and our record keeping is good, Kuya Rodwell's been tallying correctly, then I think we should reach our target. This small one. It's been so there you go. You see there's quite a few small ones, but the vast majority are reaching that 900 gram threshold. See that one there? 980 grams, so just meets the target weight. So sometimes ones like this, the drivers will actually reject them, but you want to make sure you do a double check anytime chickens get rejected, because they're just doing like the eyeball test. So you want to make sure ones that do get rejected actually are below the weight. We'll go weigh this one for fun. This is probably like 600 grams maybe. This is like a 2-week-old Minook. Jeez, this will be someone's dinner here probably. Truck number 3, done. Lock, seal, there we go. Okay, now we're down to the moment of truth here, where the final truck gets loaded, and we will know for sure if all of our work in the last 30 days is resulting in something good, or we're gonna leave here disappointed. Time will tell. Truck 4 is not here yet, so we're gonna grab something to eat, then we'll be back for the final truck, where we'll see, is our performance up to par, or did we fail? We'll be back for more. Like a talk show host there. We'll be back after.
Hi po kayo sa vlog. Hi po. Follow Andrew.
Hello.
Andrew Fletch, say hi.
Hi.
Truck number 4 pulling up now. It is 8:10 right now. So we've been going for a little shy of 3 hours, I think. So this has been pleasantly fast here. We got a good crew out here. We kind of get a different crew every time. Some core members here harvesting, but a little variation in the squad, and it's moving quick. So we're gonna harvest out of that side. Again, we're looking for 1,400 birds in this truck to get a 95% harvest recovery. We'll see. That's multitasking, folks. So this is what they call the cleanup when we get the final chickens in here. The average live weight of this truck's gonna be small. Again, I'm not even too concerned about the average weight of this. We just wanna get 1,400 in here, leave with a solid harvest recovery, and then we'll leave here with a smile on our face. That's the mic off here. We'll get a concert from our man Raymond.
Kaya pala pinatulog pala yung malapit. Yeah, hindi ako marunong mag-English.
Raymond?
No split. Ikaw na. Kung ako marunong mag-English eh, kukunin ko yan. Panoorin niyo yung vlog niya.
We're here with Raymond. Raymond, kamusta yung manok sa loob?
Small? So small.
Talaga? Raymond's a liar. He's a liar.
Talaga?
Get out of here. Okay, we're done with him. Mabigat manok. Mabigat manok. Okay, that's all we want to hear. No,
Jutes?
these are
Jutes chicken?
What is that?
Jutes?
Mabigat. Mabigat. Oh, jeez. Hey. See, we're gonna sneak this one in. This one's going home with Raymond to Sabahai.
Where you from?
They're hating on our Minook. We're gonna cut that out. We'll do a voiceover. Okay, we're starting truck number 4. As you heard from Raymond, these are band suts. Unfortunately, there's a couple big ones lurking around, but we had the scale out. 900 grams and up, get on the truck. And we're gonna be on standby because they're gonna reject a few, and we'll confirm with the scale what the weight is. So here we are. But we'll do a little double check and it's not even close. So good eye by the truck driver. The difference between that and one that's 900 grams honestly doesn't look much different. Jeez, let's weigh this one just for fun. So one like this should have been caught 2 weeks ago, probably. That's like not even week 2 weight. This is how you wash your hands here at the farm. You just get all the dust off the side like that. Wipe it around. You could eat dinner off these hands. Oh yeah, Ate's doing some work. Scooty Rodwell's wife. It's a family business. For those watching for the first time, our FCR, essentially the weight of feed we give versus the weight of chickens that are harvested. So if we harvest a lot, even if the weight's not great, you can still salvage a pretty good FCR. And what we get paid is most influenced by our FCR. So if we can salvage a good FCR, even if this truck doesn't have a great weight, we can still get, still get a feed that's pretty generous. Oh, so close. See, this is what we do. Now we just put him back to the feed dish and then he'll eat 60 more grams. I'm just joking, we don't do that. Oh, Ate, ang galing.
One.
Jeez. Yuck. I got my Crocs stolen, so we're grinding a little extra here. Oh yeah. Look at it. Ate, you're on a roll. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at them. They're weighing themselves now. Oh, there we go. Ate's been dialed in here, so. Ah. That's what I mean. Everybody wants to go home. That's 3 Minook we're getting on the truck here. Is that going to make a difference in how much we get paid? Not even a little bit. But by principle, you want to make sure you're diligent in getting everything that can go on the truck. You want to get it out there. Regardless, how you do one thing is how you do everything. We'll see. I think our recovery might not be terrible, but obviously the state in here. Look, we'll give it to you honest here. Just take a look around at Bansut. There's a few reasons why I think that could be. One, I think we probably overventilated a bit and it was causing them to crunch over along the walls. But I also think we weren't consistent in walking around the building through all hours of the day. And as a result, you get some that bunching at the wall. And then ones that are like, say, right along the wall can just get trapped there. Then they don't end up eating for a really long time. Then other ones that are roaming around eat. And like in the early days, when they're like doubling their size every 2 days, then that makes a really big difference. Bit of a temperature issue and not walking around enough. Because it was cold, like holy shit. Like I was expecting to use like half as much gas as we did last time. Remember at the start of the cycle I was saying, it's summer, it's gonna be a lot easier to control the temperature. Then all of a sudden it's like 20 degrees at nighttime and you want it to be like 33 inside and it's tough to heat it with tarp siding. We have air leaks everywhere, but no excuse. That's just an assessment of, I think, some areas where we've fallen off course a little bit. But we'll tell you here in 1 second what our harvest recovery is. Okay. Get them there safe, Raymond.
Thank you.
Safe travels, sir. You're the best in the business.
The best.
The best.
We the best.
We put 1,262 birds in this truck, shy of our 1,410 target, and that gives us a harvest recovery of 94%, an average live weight of this truck, of Bansut. The other trucks may not be so bad, but in totality, probably 1.3 to 1.4. Which is disappointing on the weight for sure, hence why we have a lot left over. But 94% recovery, I'm not too mad at, and we were not overboard on feed too, so our FCR should dial in pretty good. But there you have it. If you've made it this far in the video, please subscribe to the channel as we'll be reviewing this whole cycle, including a full financial and performance breakdown, what went wrong, what we learned, and most importantly, how does the performance translate into money. We'll also continue covering the construction of my new farm, which is nearing completion, and we'll also be filming interesting videos at different farms, factories, and a whole bunch of other businesses within the supply chain. But until then, take care, and we will see you in the next one.